is absolutely reasonable. However, being a halfling and this not being a small tent, you will instantly realise that this may be beyond you without the aid of magic.
Fortunately, Andoran is standing by, looking terrified. Or confused in this case, not terrified.
I'll look to Andoran and see that he is a lot larger than I am. And I'll say, do you mind relieving the tent of our guest?
Andoran goes, and he starts walking, and then he glances back to Hastus, and Hastus kind of nods to him, and he runs over to help Julian. Andoran's 12 strength is at your disposal. Oh, it's 10 strength. Never mind.
Yeah, between the two of us, we make 20. Yeah, so I'll... It's sort of... While I'm doing this, I'll say, you alright in there? You didn't look too nice.
While this is all happening, Durnab is probably also trying to get the tent off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is anyone still acting as if they're in combat?
Hastus is still grappling with Styx, although I think Styx stopped struggling. So unless Styx continues to actively resist, Hastus is out.
Well, I would still keep trying to just spam Hazard on the person that first attacked until that happens,
Okay.
and Ricky would
Hastus...
probably start swinging at Hastus if he's trying to choke out Styx.
Okay, so I'll take from that response the answer is yes. So on that basis, can I have an attack roll, please, from Ricky?
Hastus will, suppose, attempt to block that.
Can you?
Yes, by kicking Ricky in the face. Ego, would that be a block or evade? Because Hastus is capable of brawling.
Probably be more of an evade, I'd say.
Alright. He'll use combat expertise. And
but you are currently grappling Styx, so you're going to be on a penalty unless you've got an ability.
It does apply some penalties. Is that like a minus 4 to the evade attempt or to dexterity?
To the evade attempt.
Okay, so that'll give us a +6. Lovely. So this is with the penalties factored in. Oh, hey!
There you
go. We rolled that.
My evade?
Yep. Ricky's gonna use one of his motive chances. Oh.
First reroll.
Okay.
Right. So, Nastaline, you're having the tent removed from you.
And after...
Julian helping removing the tent, so Hastus, it is your turn.
From last round, Hastus would have done... So it's been 2 rounds since Hastus successfully grappled Ricky, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he automatically does this much non-lethal damage. Since Ricky can't escape.
You mean Styx?
Styx, my bad. I keep confusing them because...
They're really close together in a lot of this stuff.
No, it's more that the names... You use the different nameplates for the different things. Yeah. So Hastus does that much non-lethal. And then he will try and... He'll maintain his grapple and do some more non-lethal.
Also, at the sound of a cutlass being swung, I guess I will... bardic performance.
Do I?
Fascinate targeting.
Are you still inspiring competence? Because that would add damage.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so that adds 6.
Do I get to try to actually get out of it on his turn, or is it just an automatic I stay in it?
Well, Hastus has to make a grapple check against your CMD every round that he wants to maintain the grapple. And that would be a...
Alright, you
Plus
didn't do it
19,
last time,
20.
and you didn't also do it this time.
Alright.
That's fine. I think so. To be fair, Klaus, I think everyone thinks that we're about to go out of combat, and then we keep going back in. So
Yep.
I don't think Hastus can fail reasonably. Styx is his CMD is very low, isn't it? Hastus's raw bonus might exceed it. Because he's both a small creature and he probably has not the best strength or BAB.
It's 18.
18. Yeah, Hastus's raw bonus exceeds that.
Oh yeah, because
So
that's this.
if you want to waive it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me
So
count up how much he's
26
down.
damage.
Okay, I'm still up.
Alright.
And after him, it's Styx again. He was going to try to hazard again.
hazard on whom?
Well, Hastus is non-lethally choking him, but that one person, and he also knows that deep down Hastus isn't a terrible person. He thinks. And there's a person that's trying to cast spells and all that stuff that people just randomly trust, so he's probably going to be assuming mind control or something. So he's still going to keep going for him. The strange demon elf.
You don't know he's a demon elf.
Well, he looks like an elf, but with black skin, white hair, scary eyes.
Purple eyes are not scary.
Could I use a reflex save, please, and send him? And roll something other than 1.
Please.
Hmm.
No, not that one. Defenses. Reflex save. 9!
9, a mighty 9. Not enough, unfortunately.
I'm technically still alive.
Yeah,
Good
so
God.
in the efforts of Andoran and Julian to lift the tent up and effectively get it off you, they managed to step on the 2 tent poles that have fallen on you, and those tent poles pivot, managing to drive 2 ends of them into your body. Nassedin isn't really aware very much of what's happening or that they're in any way responsible. It's more, it's like the environment itself is attacking you.
This is so incredibly messed up.
It really is, but I'm just
Okay.
trying to follow logic.
How many
Well-
times have you done the thing today?
Let's see. Just use it again. So that is 5 times.
5 times, and you are level.
Oh, you're going through my class to see what all I can do.
I was trying to see if I could resist it anyway. Yeah.
So,
Use the hazard once last session to fuck with a villager. But I believe that was it.
So, that was sticks. We are now on to.
Oh, I actually do that. I'm gonna try to escape, even though it's probably gonna be futile.
Okay.
Yeah, it's futile. Do you even have to roll? You might get a 1,
No.
so there's that.
Yeah, possible.
Okay. Can I have a strength check, please, from Andoran and Julian?
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
Brave Andoran! He rolled higher than a 10.
Okay. Yeah, it's really quite tricky trying to do this when like the tent's kind of collapsing in on you guys. So you're trying to kind of move stuff whilst some of the other stuff is moving. You become aware that there is a reasonable quantity of blood as you're moving parts of the tent away in an attempt to get to this figure. And you can probably hear a groan from underneath.
Wow.
I will sigh at this and say, how quickly are you going to be putting him out?
Okay. Next round, I believe, unless Sticks has gone. Yes. Nureb, can I have a strength roll from Nureb, please? And can I have another strength roll from Andoran as he goes first in the following round?
Brave Andoran!
Much better. Right. Okay. Andoran kind of girds his loins and sort of takes a crouching position and heaves up on the canvas, putting his shoulder and his thigh muscles into it, revealing to Julian the rather battered figure underneath. That you're not sure whether that figure's kind of clutching these two tent poles or these two tent poles have somehow collapsed upon it. But yeah, it's certainly looking not particularly healthy, with a fair amount of ichor, maybe blood. Okay, next I believe, if I scroll up, next is Ricky.
Ricky's going to attack Astus again.
Okay.
Also, no, never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. Fine. Yeah, let's just get his attack out of the way. But Hassus is gonna dodge it because he's a god at everything. Yep, he just dodges
So
it.
modest.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay, reroll.
Hey.
Wow.
He's still probably gonna dodge it.
Astus will attempt an evade.
That crit, yeah?
It didn't. It probably won't confirm. No.
That's like 28.
Yeah.
Which I don't much like. With the current penalties, it would be very difficult for Astus to avoid this.
Hey, cool. I poked his. Ricky poked your leg slightly and kind of did nothing.
Astus says, "Stop that!"
Stop that!
That's it.
Okay. Nasalin, the tent has been lifted up from you. You are free to act. You are feeling worse for wear.
He's currently looking at the combat rules to define target. Nasilin is not happy. Nasilin fires a lightning bolt at Ricky.
Oh, fuck.
At Ricky? Okay.
No, at not Ricky, at Styx.
Well, hang on. So Styx is basically got a big burly fighter wrapped around him and looks like he's basically kind of squeezing the life out of him. So
Yes, Nasilin is on 2 hit points.
okay.
Nasilin is firing a lightning.
You hit the fighter as well as the halfling. Just checking.
It's a line
Line.
effect.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So, and there's also
Regrettable
Ricky
turn
right
of events.
there that's hitting him, so you'll probably get Ricky too.
The other halfling has just impaled the fighter with a very small-looking blade that the fighter has kind of growled at, but not taken the blow necessarily all that seriously.
No.
It's basically
Nasilin's
poking
going
him with
to
a toothpick.
So
Nasilin is going to cast Magic Missile on Styx.
fine.
With 3 missiles.
Wow.
Okay. I might say there's no save for Magic Missile.
Nothing.
No save.
Unless you've got shield up.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Or
So,
spell... Oh, not even spell resistance.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
wait. Yes, spell resistance.
yeah, 10 points damage.
Yeah.
Sticks.
Yep. And Styx is bleeding out now.
Well, unconscious.
Yeah.
You're unconscious.
Because
You will, so,
Actually, hold up.
everyone in the tent will see,
Styx is dead.
How?
I barely
Oh.
had any HP left.
Hastus was
Non-lethal
doing non-lethal damage.
the damage, dude.
Okay, never mind.
As Andoran lifts the tent canvas off of this strange dark-skinned figure, there is a frantic gesture from the prone figure, and 3 kind of wish-bish bolts go from the prone figure and dart unerringly into the body of Styx the halfling, who then slumps, stopping his struggles against Hastus.
I do believe Hastus will drop Styx at this point, turn to Ricky, and say, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, sorry, just because I want to... Right, Julian, what do you want to do?
Seeing this, I will say, was that really necessary?
At this point, Nasilin falls over, bleeding a lot.
I will bend down and tend to wounds, basically.
Fine. Okay, now, Hastus, what are you doing?
Hastus drops Styx unceremoniously and turns on Ricky, towering, and he says, "You better put that sword down." And he'll ready an action to attack Ricky if he does not comply on his next turn.
Okay. Styx will...
Do I bleed out? Oh no, because non-lethal.
No, it's not.
Okay.
What's Durab doing?
Panicking.
Yeah, probably fair.
Durnab has 4 healing potions he has crafted.
Right.
He's going to start by pouring one of them in down Nasillin's throat.
It's eminently reasonable. Okay.
It's 2d4 plus 2 for a basic potion, isn't it? Or is it maximized?
Maximized.
It's maximized because alchemist. If he is an alchemist.
Alchemy.
If he's an alchemist, then it's maximized. If he's not, then
He is a investigator. He has the same alchemy.
then it's not maximized.
Oh, neat.
Okay. Next round, and Doran. And Doran's probably holding up like a reasonable amount of tent canvas at this point.
Why'd you roll
he will persist in
2d4?
doing that.
Why'd you roll 2d4?
For the healing potion?
If you did
much?
cure light wounds, it's not that much. That's the 5e amount, I think. It is 1d8 plus gas level.
Right.
And also, he can't get cure light wounds until 4th level.
Yep.
So chances are he bought the potion from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right?
So if he bought the potions, so did you buy the potions?
I can afford that, yeah.
Okay.
So then it's maximized.
Then he bought it from an alchemist and it's maximized.
Oh, sweet. So I'm on 12.
Okay. So Andoran, back to you. So, there's not a great deal you can do. If you drop the canvas, you will drop it on all of the figures now underneath it. You basically become an impromptu.
He's just holding it up. He's fine with that. It seems Hastus has things well in hand.
Fine, Ricky. You might be feeling a bit nervous, right, Ricky?
Well, okay, so everybody's attacking his brother. He's going to drop his weapon and do his best to just drag his brother out of there.
Okay. Alright. So you can drop your weapon as asked and reach out to your brother, if nothing else, to check how he is, I imagine. Nacillin, you are feeling better. It's fair to say.
What?
Physically better, if not necessarily your pride, but still.
He will stand up. I believe that uses half his movement.
So there's not actually room for you to stand up. You can kind of crouch, but you have to get out of this part of the tent that it looks like one of the warriors is holding up themselves.
How does the tent... Rough estimate, how much does the tent weigh?
Okay. Please hold caller. Your call is important to us.
Are you going to do levitate on the tent?
Yes.
40 pounds.
Not a bad idea.
40 pounds.
I levitate the tent.
I was.
Now you see, that would have been useful.
He was in the middle of something.
Yeah. To be fair.
If Ricky had had another... if Styx had had another turn, he would have been unconscious.
Unfortunately, he is a difficult one to control.
Nothing against you, Klaus, by the way. So yeah, he levitates the tent and then stands up.
Fine. Okay. Do so. Is it reasonable for me now to assume you're out of combat? I just want to double check.
I hope.
Yeah.
Klaus?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Ricky continues dragging sticks away.
What an afternoon.
Yeah, I will sort of turn to.
Syl will walk over to Hastus, who he believes is the leader, and he will apologize.
Hasta says,
I'm sorry for the undesired outcome.
Hasta says, please. I'm sorry that you were attacked by our wild dogs here.
They are not.
So as he's speaking to this individual, Astus will see if he recognizes what sort of being this is, some sort of elf from another land, perhaps.
You have no idea.
He'll turn to Julie and he says, what will we do about them?
Those two?
I'm half inclined to let them go.
Yes, well,
I'm
alas,
certain
it seems they have a contract with Lord Dero, so unless we wish to, we may need to keep them on a little bit longer.
Astus looks not cheered by the prospect. He says, Andoran, make sure they don't slip off. And Andoran will nod.
I will relay the same message to Bellario, seeing as he's now in the picture, considering that the tent is now fuck knows where.
Yep.
It's like 10 foot off the ground.
Yeah, so Bellario is now in vision.
And Doran would see them loading up onto a horse. Well, Ricky trying to put sticks onto a horse. The one that they stole earlier on. Quote unquote stole, it was just kind of running around.
Andoran will rush over and grab the reins.
Bellario will bodily pull them away from the horse.
Ricky takes a swing at, and then...
Andoran just sheaths his sword once he sees that Ricky's basically incapable of offering significant resistance. Didn't he drop that?
Oh.
He did.
He did.
There you go.
Oh, good God.
Where the hell did a heavy crossbow come from?
Maybe it was on his back.
Yep. Just let us go, you people! Want to protect some sort of lying stranger. There was no reason for us to stay.
Do you want Bellario to attempt to evade it, or
I think so, because I think Bellario would.
Bellario would evade it without rolling, considering his modifier. Deftly sidesteps the crossbow bolt and draws his own dueling sword.
Ricky,
just let us leave. You people
Ricky,
have... Yeah.
your time in Miven and later arrest of would make you aware that the person in front of you looks like he's from one of the fighting schools. Probably not someone you want to face without your brother.
Just let us go. You people want to protect someone that started casting spells whenever we were just trying to find out basic questions about them. Just, if you don't want us there to actually be some sort of voice of reason, let us go then.
Andoran looks mildly offended that Ricky would label him and his brother the voice of reason.
Well, you people aren't having any sort of reason
Yeah.
about you. You're trusting some person that came in and lied and tried to attack my brother, and whenever my brother stopped him from casting a spell,
At no
you
point
people
did he
knocked him
lie.
out.
Andoran says, I think you may have jumped the gun a bit.
Quite a
Casting
lot, I'd
spells
say.
whenever you're being questioned about your past is not something that you do if you're
Regardless-
trying to be friendly.
Hastus wants to speak to you, so you can't go, he says, sort of like putting his foot down.
Bellario just stays quiet and simply points his Aldori dueling sword at you.
Hastus can talk to his new trader if he wants to. That's all that person's going to be.
Andoran looks to Bellario and he's like, should we grab them?
Bellario turns his head to the side just so that he can be easily heard by Hastus and Julian, and says, shall we let them go and simply inform Lord Dero that their contract is terminated?
Hastus looks to Julian like, let's.
I do that.
Hastus says, just let them go. They're more trouble than they're worth.
Enjoy your new trader. He's going to be nothing but trouble if he... And I'm not surprised that you had some sort of assassin in your midst back at the settlement if you people trust people after stuff like that. The assassin probably tried to kill you people, and then you just welcomed them with open arms.
Andoran, with the reins in his hand, simply extends them to Ricky with like a very neutral expression on his face.
Ricky does not take them
Would
right
you like
away.
any help?
He
asks,
would like
you
be
any
loading
help
up his
getting your brother
brother.
onto the horse?
Actually, yes, please. It's really high up.
Andoran lets the offer just hang there for a second, and then he helps stuff sticks onto the over the saddlebags of the horse.
Alright. They start riding off.
Andoran crosses his arms and watches them go, and then he'll turn back and walk towards the tent after a second.
Oh, is below you attacking?
No, I'm just trying out one of the attack mods.
Okay.
Ignore me.
Ignore me! Astus says to Julian, well, I doubt that'll be the last we see of them. Unless they want to forget. Unless Styx wants to forget the oath he was forced to swear.
Yes, undoubtedly.
And then Hastus turns to look at Nasalin. He says, now that that's out of the way...
Yes, do pardon the inconvenience of our little spat.
I am sorry.
So, anyways, if I may ask, what brings you to this part of the country?
As I have said, I seek to siblings.
You are extremely quiet. I can't hear you.
Sorry. I seek 2 siblings, as I have said.
I hope it wasn't those 2 siblings.
I seek Haya and Sorkel, and I am seeking information upon their father.
Yes, well, unfortunately, those 2 names do not ring a bell to me, but there are more of us. Perhaps we're able to put out feelers.
Indeed.
Yes.
Hastus
I
just
would
looks
be-
troubled in general.
I am quite well off. I would be able to at least remunerate you some, should this information come to you.
No, that is a language we understand.
Hastus says, so, can you tell us more about these 2, this Haya and Sakel?
They, like me, are elves from below the ground.
I see.
And like you,
Do
able
all elves...
to take a disguised form?
My race has been unfairly persecuted by the elves above the ground.
Ah, good old racism. Well,
Hence my duplicity.
you find yourself in human lands. Persecution by elves should be the least of your trouble here.
I am told the elves spread propaganda against us.
Not very effectively, considering we know that.
Yes, I've never heard of elves from below the ground, Hastus adds.
You may have heard of the Drow.
Have we, Ego?
Yeah, that's the question.
Here?
Ego.
Sorry, I had it on mute, guys. That word will give you a bonus to a roll, but I still need a roll, please. No.
Come on, Hastus. A 3?
Yeah, that will do.
Ooh!
Everything clicks into place with that word.
the one time Hastus gets to use his knowledge skill.
So that's what, a 37?
Something stupid.
It's like a 40
42.
something.
42.
Plus whatever ego was offering.
Yeah. So 47, yeah.
Where's the extra bonus 10 from?
If you get a 20, you get
Okay.
plus 10 to the result. If you get a 1, you get minus 10 to the result.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
That's actually a really nice method. I like that. Yeah, so the word drow clicks everything into place in my mind.
And he will continue the sentence. Though likely much of what you have been told of my race is exaggerated or incorrect.
Stand by, ego-flavored knowledge dump incoming. I'll get back to you. Yes, you fled underground, sought the refuge underground. Yet there is still very precious little known about you. Most is there is speak of some form of corruption, I believe, but even that is vague and untrustworthy. Regardless, your belief that the rest of the elves have spread misinformation about you seems to be rather unsubstantiated, considering the complete lack of information we have about your race.
That is perhaps true. My race... I'm going to stop the voice. My race stayed with this world, for we believed it worth saving.
Oops. Well,
Upon their return, we were once like them in appearance. I do not know the fact of the matter.
a generation underground, well, change things. Although blue skin tone, I do not know of a natural methodology for that sort of change. Still, looks nice.
Estes kind of scratches his neck. He says, well, I suppose we can offer you hospitality for the time being while we discuss. So, while Julian and I discuss some issues.
I am grateful for it.
Estes nods, and he says that now that Styx and Ricky have so... what's the word?
Buggered it up.
I was going to say ostentatiously remove themselves. But we should discuss the what our approach to Navactus Crossing should be, now that we know the heroes are leaving for elsewhere.
Yes, well, the problem of the oath we have sworn to the heroes does come some way.
Does it?
Well, we either place that Zalan wishes us to investigate that has nothing to do with our investments, so to speak, or we bring them to our investments and somehow maintain some of our more esoteric companions away from their eyes.
Who will be traveling with you?
Two of the heroes.
As we were being accompanied by Janos, Zabor, that coin counter and priest, and that pyromaniac who calls himself the Flame of Isa.
Okay. I have met these gentlemen. Though not in this shape. I hope you will not mind my returning to my previous appearance.
Oh no, by all means, please do. If we do happen to come across elves, your current appearance may prove somewhat interesting a situation.
And I will return to my bad disguise.
If they prove to be as hostile as you say, I suppose so.
You will have noticed that throughout this entire meeting, he's been squinting.
An aversion to light? Well, I'd guess a lifetime on the ground would do that.
And he will turn away and he will cast a spell. At which point he won't be squinting anymore.
Hmm.
It is very strange to one of my people. You use such a little amount of spellcraft.
Well, me myself, I am somewhat versed in the arcane arts, but mine is a different craft entirely.
No, it's a society.
Oh, yes, well, you have to take into account that Restov itself looks down upon the idea of arcane. They prefer the concept of, and I sort of point to Bellario, sword play. The lord, the nobility hold the titles of sword lords.
That seems interesting, I suppose. Though I do not really understand why the sword. Why is the sword such a respected weapon? I do not understand.
It
But
signifies
have your-
strength. I can go into the. But for
You
now,
have, we have ours, I suppose.
aye.
Asta sort of clears his throat slightly.
Well, then do him.
Out of character, Cam and Pablo, my bad. Shall we discuss the Navactus crossing problem further, or should we switch over to Caravan, I guess?
Well, I think we sort of have. We have a general. The only question left in my mind is, which path are we taking? Do we go back to Venson, either having attempted to convince Navactus Crossing to come with or not, or do we go to this on this quest that Zalan has given us?
Astus sort of strokes his chin, clean shaven, and says, I don't see why we can't do both. There are some among us who are well equipped to go in search of this place, and some among us who really would probably be better suited overseeing the settlement.
Well, the oath might disagree.
Do we not have the entire winter?
Would not your oath allow you to send your vassals or allies in your stead
Potentially,
if they were
did
better placed?
did not state the method by which accomplish it, simply that we accomplish it. It is true enough. So you propose that, say, that you and some of your more fighty friends maybe take Bellario with you.
Astus nods.
And I will use my charm, as well as some of my other more esoteric abilities, to keep Benson from falling apart.
If you would be so kind.
Aye. Right. Yeah, I think that's basically decided what we're gonna do.
Alright, so I guess we'll head back in, sort of assess what's going on in Navactus Crossing, whether or not the natives will want to come with us.
Let's wait for
Later.
Ego to come back before
Yeah.
nailing this all out.
I'm sure there will be developments that will need to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'll need to get my Julian character sheet working properly for all that, not just.
Sil
the
is
dev.
going to consider something out of character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have a person that you want not to look like themselves. Sil has a device that would allow a person to not look like themselves.
Interesting.
Syl might be willing to rent it to said person.
That is very interesting.
In exchange for perhaps a profit share in your enterprise.
Interesting.
Very.
Considering the value that magic items are.
Yeah, that is very intriguing. Very intriguing proposition. Give me
There you go, you back?
Sorry, guys. Mm-hmm.
We have a plan.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Would you like to share it?
So, we're basically going to split up.
Right.
Well, not quite yet, but the idea is that some of us will go to deal with this ghost problem, and some of us will help manage the... Well, if we can manage to get some of the people from Navactus Crossing to come over. To manage the settlement.
A party reshuffle, maybe. In order, they're not just confusing.
Yeah, especially if we end up like coordinating together our arrivals for both parties, we can reshuffle.
Alternatively, maybe we could all move into Navactus Crossing and start improving it.
That's okay.
I believe it's already in Brevoy.
Oh. Well...
Or at least Brevoy would say it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's true. It would cause some problems. Alright. So, we can offer them... less interference from Brevoy. And they've seen the terrible consequences interference from Brevoy can have.
I think we'd have to have a town meeting for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brevoy is not a river kingdom. It is a major nation. Yeah, most of the river kingdoms are what I would describe as city-states. For the most part. If that. Brevoy is a completely different scale of magnitude of problem.
Yeah.
And you guys managed to piss them off.
Well, caught their attention.
Oh, yeah.
They both pissed them off their attention.
Thanks, Melina.
Gift keeps on giving.
Who's the player who runs Melina?
That would be Klaus.
Hey, yeah, I'm just terrible at everything, and I just fuck things up for people.
No.
Oh,
The most
Melina
What's
sounds
life
like
without a little spice?
Melina also took out the Stag Lord, I should point out.
Yeah, she did.
Wow.
Yeah. So before we start...
Also a Jake. Cough, cough.
Yeah. And...
And one time in her dreams, a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did I
And-
tell you about the time she took down a T-Rex
Lieutenant.
basically one-on-one?
Yeah. So, right. So, what are you guys doing?